Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today. Give your whole day a boost with America's best multivitamins from GNC and save on your vitamins when you buy them in GNC VitaPack programs.
VitaPack programs combine expert-picked vitamins and minerals in easy-to-use daily packs to support health and wellness, plus targeted nutrients for your unique goals and lifestyle.
I'm trying to get it together health-wise. You guys know that. I've been talking about it on the show. And so to make sure I'm getting the nutrients I need, I've been using VitaPacks. It's been working great for me. You know, there's always a worry when you change your eating, like how's this going to affect everything? And I've been feeling great.
Great. Well, save money, save shelf space, save time. Be one of 1 million people every year who starts a GNC VitaPack program. Visit their stores or gnc.com for full details. Audible lets you enjoy all your audio entertainment in one app. You'll always find the best of what you love or something new to discover.
The Audible app makes it easy to listen anytime, anywhere, while traveling, working out, walking, doing chores, and that's what I've been doing. I have been listening to the book 12 Rules for Life because, listen, I am a huge self-help person, and this one has been great, and I could just listen to it on my morning walk every morning. And so now I'm walking and I'm learning.
That's a great use of it. So try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500.
Watch what crappens. Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Crappens. 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 Watch what crappens. Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens. Watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the one and only, hilarious and generous, Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Well, hello, Banoons. What you doing today, baby?
I'm in the process of still waking up many hours after I actually got up. So that's what today's all about.
Buddy.
That's how we're doing it. But you know what, though? I'm excited. We're talking about Summer House season finale today, which had a big blowout fight with Lindsay and Danielle, plus a smack of Scandival to it in the Scandivoliver, you know? So we're going to get into all that stuff. We are presenting to you today on video, as we do every day. Almost every day, I should say. And if you want to watch the videos, well, guess what? You can watch them. Go to patreon.com/watchforcrappens and get access to our videos if you support with Crappens on Demand, where they'll be on Patreon exclusively as soon as the videos are done. We post them on there, and then they stay there for a week, and then they go off to YouTube. So then they become available to everyone. So if you want to get early access while you're still fired up about things like the fight in tonight's episode, go to Patreon. You also get access to our weekly bonus episode, etc. Also, we are coming towards the end of May, which is exciting. Crazy that we're at the end of May. But in June, the tour revs up again for the final stretch. So we're going to San Diego, St. Paul, Minnesota, Chicago, Columbus, and then Boston, and then we close it all out at Foxwoods in Connecticut. 6 shows left, and after that, the tour is done and over. So come join. We've been having so much fun this year. It's a really thrilling experience to be in a room with all of your people, and it's hard to explain what that energy is like. So rather than me explain it, just come and experience it for yourself. So go to watchforcrappens.com to get your tickets. And that's all the exciting news I have to report for today.
Only losers don't come. Don't be a loser.
Ronnie, we're matching shirts. Why do we always, this always happens. We're like teal sisters.
Yeah, against our teal backdrop. I've got one of those little Paul Frank shirts on. I love a monkey, cute. And he's holding the earth. Okay, because it's like an Earth Day shirt from Old Navy. Guys, Old Navy believes in protecting the earth, okay?
It does.
Also child labor. I'm sure all the children that they employ really respect the earth as well. So I'd like to thank all those children working at Old Navy. Thanks. You're doing a great job. Love, Paul Frank.
Yeah, Paul Frank's great. I'm covering mine.
Allegedly.
I've got like a little bit of a J. Crew kind of gingham sort of covering my teal inner core. But the truth is we're both in kind of summery colors because it's Summer House time. It's the season finale.
It's Summer House time. I was very excited because it's the season finale. Ben and I do not agree on a lot of things happening on this show, which leads people to think we're fighting, which we're not fighting. But God, we disagree sometimes, and we can still be friends and disagree, okay? But it's very stressful because then you have to explain, like, no, we're not disagreeing. And then, like, seeing people be like, hey, Ben, fuck you for your stupid ideas. And then they'll be like, yeah, Ronnie, fuck you for your stupid ideas. I'm like, you guys, fuck all of you guys. We're all idiots because we all watch Summer House. And only idiots watch Summer House. So why don't we just all bond over the fact that we're wasting our lives on dum-dums, drunk 40-year-olds, okay? That's what we're watching. Let's just all calm down.
I know, seriously. Yeah, there was a very angry YouTube comment about me last night. Like, Ben, are you goosing me? Goosing us? No, I'm not. But the thing is this, though, I think we're actually going to be pretty aligned on this episode because, well, you'll see. I think you'll be surprised. I feel like we'll be two rulers aligned next to each other on this.
Well, I have to say, I was very excited. It's the season finale, right? So I'm watching it, getting furious, just like you're supposed to do, getting bored because it's Summer House, just like you're supposed to do. I'm feeling all the
15 minutes of content in the show.
Yeah, nothing happens. But I was feeling all the things I feel like I was supposed to be feeling. And then the preview for the reunion came on. And it just reminded me that it's a month of horrible screaming at each other and more fighting because it's going all the way back to the fights from the beginning of the season. And I'm starting to feel like a Bravo character, like someone who's like, oh my God, we made up. We started agreeing about something, and now we have to go relive all of those fights again. So that's how I'm feeling.
It's going to be a lot, like June, we are traveling more than ever in June. And then we are going to be dealing with 3 separate toxic reunions between Vanderpump, New Jersey, and this show all at once. Like by the time we get to Foxwoods, I am going to be a dried corn husk. Like I'm just going to be just a floppy corn ear with some string attached, and I'll be with a mic because that's all that's going to be left of me. I'm going to turn into a piece of corn, and not even the part that you eat. It's just it's so much. But that being said, the trailer for the reunion for this looked good. Like there were definitely a few moments where I went, like I gasped. I mean, when Paige said that Carl and Lindsay didn't even have a job, she's like, I don't. When Lindsay said, like, you think this is a lie? This is like this is an expensive lie. And she goes, I know, and that's what's confusing because neither of you have a job. I literally cracked up. It was such a catty thing to say, but I laughed because I'm like that.
Anybody on Summer House throwing that stone is bizarre to me.
Yeah. Well.
But I can't say that about Paige because she does have a job. She does work quite a lot. She's got one of the biggest podcasts in the country, The Giggly Squad. Yeah. And she's Amazon living in. I mean, Paige does a lot of stuff.
Paige does a lot. She also did she do Met Gala fashion commentary for E, but also had Craig there with her, which was a strange choice.
That doesn't count. And if that was a big deal for her, I'm sorry to take away from you because I'm sure that was really cool to get to do. But Melissa Gorga was there, so sorry.
You're right.
Disqualified. You are disqualified from putting that on your CV. Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, welcome to Summer House.
We're not mad at each other. Headline is Ronnie and I are not mad at each other, and we argue about these fools, but has literally no impact like how we feel about each other. It's like
we fight over important things. Like, why would you make me sit in the middle seat? Those are our fights.
I made Ronnie do that once, and
you're never going to forget it. At your funeral, if you die before me, God, that's dark. But if you do, I'm going to show up there, and I'm going to be like, Ben was my best friend. Also, he made me sit in the middle seat once, so fuck that guy. And then I'm going to like flick your coffin and watch everybody gasp.
I am a little surprised that I booked you a middle seat. Like, I actually don't know what I was thinking. Like, why would anyone do that? Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know why I did that, Ronnie, to this day.
I was still the nice octopus at that point. You had never seen the tentacles come out and me start threatening the world around me. You hadn't seen my Ursula come out, darling.
I think I just had this, like, weird idea that, like, when you know each other, if the two people next to each other know each other, middle seat isn't so bad because there's not as much, like, personal space nervousness because you're like, oh, if Ronnie's elbow hits me, it's like fine. But like if it's like a stranger, you feel like you can't do that. And so I think that must have been what I was thinking.
Well, you said you wanted to sit together, which was really sweet. So I said, okay, then you sit in the middle seat and I'll sit in the window. And you said, no.
Did I really?
Yeah. I was pissed.
I'm such a bitch.
Remember? Because then we saw a listener on the plane who was actually sitting with us, who was so sweet. He looked just like Kristen Siriano. He's very sweet, the sweet guy. And I was like, will you switch seats with me? And he's like, no. What am I, an idiot? No, I'm not going to switch seats with you.
I can't believe that. I can't believe I didn't take the middle seat. Like, that's shocking.
You totally Tom Schwartz me. I was Katie. You went to first class and you left me in coach coming back from Mexico.
That is shocking. Guess what? I apologize.
That was throwing your friend under the bus, what I just did. Now people are really going to be
wait, no, but that's funny. But there's there's some things you get thrown under a bus and all the bystanders are horrified and they're traumatized, they have to go to therapy. But like if you were to throw like I don't know, like a one of those used car floppy things, throw that under a bus and it gets run over, everyone would cheer and it's funny. And I feel like right now in this case it's a funny flop. I'm a funny floppy thing that got run over and it's funny. We're all laughing.
Oh, I love you. Okay, so let's get into it. So we start where we left, where basically I was furious last week because I was like, Lindsay and Carl just quit the show. Like, to me, walking off set and just leaving and Carl coming in and cursing and covering up the cameras just because someone had the nerve to not be 100% celebratory over his stupid engagement, which he sold to every outlet in the world, including fucking Marshall's, which isn't even an outlet. Like, these two are making, like, these two are so star fucking for this engagement. It got on my nerves that you're quitting the actual job that gave you. I mean, I was furious. I was still furious after the episode when I knew they came back to the house. I was still furious. But now we are graced with their presence as they come back to the house to finish what they started.
And I owe a huge apology. I feel like we have to do this every single week. Every single week, it's a huge apology. I stuck my foot in my mouth again. I know I upset a lot of people. I just came from a place of just not thinking about the words coming out of my mouth. Carl and Lindsay were driving a Kia Telluride, not a Kia Sorento. I apologize to everyone. The record has been fixed. Yes.
Wow. Some Kia slander.
Yeah. I'm really sorry about it, but I'm living and learning. Continue, Ronnie.
I feel like Kia's that car who got Ozempic and nobody will be like nice to the car because they know it's taking Ozempic. Because Kia's used to be like dorky cars. And then now people, like I was talking to my niece in a parking lot. We were just standing out after lunch talking. And I was like, oh, yeah, Ben has a Kia and he loves his Kia. And she went, ew, a Kia. And I went, no, look, they're cool now. Look at that Kia. And she looked, she goes, oh, my God, that is cool now.
Yeah, oh, my God. I love that I have an Ozempic vehicle. It's totally true.
Yeah, but she still had that tinge of like, she said, but I still have the old Kia logo in my mind. And I was like, you see, this is how people treat people who take Ozempic. Like they can't be happy for the Kia, for the new branding. They're like, it's not fair. You just slapped a new sticker on it. I'm like, no, it's a cool car.
Kia is the original TikTok car. In that it was so easy to steal, it became a TikTok challenge to steal Kias. It's a great badge of honor.
I love TikTok. I tried to make meat flowers a thing there this weekend.
Oh, I love that. Oh, they'll catch on.
Like I wanted millions of views from my meat flowers post, and it didn't work. But you know what? I'm going to keep trying.
No, because you didn't use a sing-songy voice. You didn't say, "Hey guys, you ever see a meat flower? They look really hard, but it's actually really easy. I'll tell you in 35 easy steps."
No, because I had my mom doing it. I was like, Mom, show everybody how to make a meat flour. And she was moving so slow and just like slapping salami over it. I was like, it's TikTok. You don't have 30 minutes when you just slap the salami on the goddamn shot glass and beat. Anyway, she didn't listen. Point is, we're recapping Summer House. Let's get to it. We're in minute 12. We are in minute 12.
I want to talk about TikTok. Okay. So Lindsay and Carl are back in their Kia Telluride, where they have not just made some meat cups in their off day. And they walk in very slowly, tick-tock, tick-tock, and Carl's like, hello, hi,
it's me, Happy Carl.
Hi,
back in my white pants.
Hey, look right, by the way. As if nothing happened.
Carl's like, holy crap, bro. And so they're just acting like nothing happened, right? Lindsay's like, And Lindsay, so Kyle is like the dad confronting kids who are in trouble. Like they just came home really late and they got in trouble and they're pretending that nothing's wrong. He's like, so you're actually back now? Yeah, how's it going? Yeah, everything's great. We just needed to kind of get out, but I mean... And Kyle's like, well, I was bummed, but I'm glad you guys are here now. Well, I guess I'm going to shower, but I'm glad you came, even though I'm really disappointed in you kids. Really disappointed in you.
Yeah, well, I'm really appreciative. Like, for me personally, I just, like, for, like, being supportive and, like, trying to understand, like, it means a lot. Like, it's been, like, really hard, you know? And Kyle's like, well, I hope in the moment you realize I'm just trying to help you see the other side. And, like, in the perfect world, we'd all be in full alignment. And Carl's like, yeah, well, last week just, like, really cut me to my core. Yeah, like in fact, like that it made, like, I was made out to be like the bad guy for this reason. Like my core was like it was like someone opened up a Ben and Jerry's like ice cream with a core inside it and like stabbed it. I was like, that's how I felt. Like, you know,
why would you cut me
core.
to the core when you know I've been working so hard on my core berries boot camp? It's been like every Saturday. So
I've been using my Amorpho shirt. My Amorpho shirt. I've been using it to like get my core up and ready.
Love that Carl's like, yeah, I appreciate, so much support in the trash alley, Kyle. So much support from you, my best friend. Before you went and told everyone what a little bitch Carl was, and then talked shit with everybody after you left. Yeah, Kyle's just a real stand-up winner of a friend this season to you, buddy. So then Lindsay's like, yeah, you guys were acting like you did something wrong. And Carl's like,
yeah, broken. I was broken. And I just needed some space.
You don't get space. Okay, sir, you're on Summer House and you're not doing anything. You're like the most boring person ever the past 2 seasons, okay? And I'm not being mean to you because you're sober. I'm just saying you're boring. I don't care if it's because you're sober or not. I really don't care why. I don't care about the why. This isn't a court of law. You've just been very boring and you need to do more. So you can't just leave. Okay? You need to stay there and fight. That's what you're getting paid to do. Now get a stain stick for those fucking white jeans and get back to work.
Also, okay, I understand you're bummed out that like you feel like your friends aren't happy for you or whatever, but he's literally acting as if someone broke into his house and like murdered all his pets, stole all his goods, chopped Wesley's stripes in half. It's fine. It's fine. Not like this whole, I was like broken into like a million pieces. Like I was a broken man. Like tears were coming down my cheeks for 5 straight days. Like they weren't, honestly, they weren't. You, like you said, you have your Mervin's commercial.
You're like 40, dude.
Yeah. So Carl's like, well, I know why you kind of like snowballed it because it like became a bigger deal than I wish it was, because like when you weren't there, I couldn't help but like gossip to the whole house, and then we all talked about you and everything. So I guess if you were here, like we wouldn't have done that. So it's kind of your fault that we gossiped.
And Lindsay's like, I mean, totally. I'm like 100%. But like at the same time, his mental health is the most important thing. And he wanted to get away on a Friday night. And you know what? We got away.
And he's like, yeah, because this summer seems to be a constant questioning about how I'm acting, or if I'm changing, or if I'm doing the right thing. And I've just had enough.
Carl, every season you've been on is about your behavior. It's questioning of your behavior and whether or not you're changing. You are one of the inventors of the Carl 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. You are on Carl, what year is this? 7?
Yeah.
This year 7? You know, Carl 7.0, Carl. We've been questioning it the whole time. Stop your fucking crying, Carl.
At this point, Apple is trying to catch up to you with all your new versions. Apple's like, we're falling behind in the tech race. Carl's already up to...
Unfortunately, one more update, and I'm not going to be able to charge anymore, so I just really needed to get some time away.
Hey, Sierra. That's my new operating system, Carl Sierra.
So he's like,
yeah, it's just like I'm like learning to navigate things the best I can. Luckily, my Kia does come with like a great GPS system, and it just like means like taking a little break for the night. Like, so be it. But like, I want to come back and like show my face and like fulfill my obligation to Marshalls to show off this cool shirt I got for free that I told them I'd wear at the season finale. So here I am.
Thank you for saying that, because he was talking about how much he's learned and how much he's changed. And I'm like, you're wearing a T-shirt version of a members only jacket. You've learned nothing. So drop the monologue.
So it's like, well, it was important for me to come back and show my face because of pride.
I'm like, it's not because of pride. It's because Lindsay made you.
Lindsay.
Okay? And we know that.
Lindsay made him. I mean, she even says later on that on the drive over, Carl was a mess and so angry. It was like, no, Lindsay's like, you're not going to take me away from the season finale? So,
Yeah. She's like, you might not need this anymore. I still need this. You get your ass back to the house in front of the camera. What's the point of me telling off these B words if it's just in the car? I want to tell them off on camera. I've waited all season for this. Get me back there.
are you happy with Family Feud? Don't you ever aspire for something like Celebrity Pictionary? Come on, we're doing the season finale.
So Kyle's like, well, I don't know how you guys feel about like having a conversation with some people, like, I don't know, like maybe Danielle. And Lindsay's like, I'm fine to talk to her. I don't know about Carl. He might like poop his white pants because he's like a total fraidy cat, but I could do it. He's like, well, I would encourage you to have a chat earlier than later. Why? Danielle's done nothing but go around the house crying and making scenes with everybody. You bet your ass Lindsay is going to be talking to her.
Well, no, Kyle's just like, yeah, do it sooner than later. So that way then we all have stuff to talk about on Chez Lounges for the rest of the episode, okay?
Right. The only other thing happening in this is an inflatable tiger that I'm wearing in a mullet. So
Exactly.
Please do it.
So meanwhile, Corey's putting on a fake tattoo, and Sam's like, oh my God, literally? I said to him, like, don't you dare put tattoos on your body because I will become uncontrollable. Like, it'll be like fucking in Montauk times 10 billion. Can you even imagine?
He's like so hot. Like the way that he puts on his tattoo. Like, I'm gonna fuck him like right now. I'm gonna fuck him. Yeah. And then Danielle's like, doesn't she move her face like that?
She does. She's like, but what's funny is that, like, I mean, okay, I can't stand Corey, but he's hot. Like, I see he's hot, and honestly, I think he's hot, goofy looking, like a hot cartoon, like
he's like a hot person. If Matt Groening drew him,
yeah, I mean, like the
Simpsons face hot.
Yeah, it's like you know what it is? He's almost like when people do weird, like hot fanfic art of cartoons. So they take a cartoon and make them hot, like a hot Launchpad McQuack. You know?
Wow. Wow.
You know? Which I'm sure, Google it. I'm sure it's there.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop.
Get cash back on over 3,500 stores across every single category, including fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, and so much more.
You're already shopping, so why not save while you're doing it?
Membership is free, and it's easy to sign up.
Rakuten deposits your cash back directly into your PayPal account, or they can send you a check.
Get the free Rakuten app and download the free browser extension.
Rakuten also finds you the best deals, sales, and coupons. They do the work of searching for coupon codes so you save time and money.
You can stack cash back on top of other deals like store sales and credit card points.
Start all of your shopping at Rakuten. Your cash back adds up. At Rakuten, you can find brands like Kate Spade, Farm Rio, Expedia, Verbo, Lenovo, Blue Mercury, H&M, Tom's, Banana Republic. So many brands.
It's free and easy to join. Just go to Rakuten.com now or download the Rakuten app today. That's Rakuten.
From Wondery comes a new series, Flipping the Bird, Elon versus Twitter. A story about what happens when the richest man on the planet decides to acquire a powerful social media company in the name of free speech. But does he have what it takes?
It started off promising.
Or is this all just about Elon?
He's essentially mad that his tweets aren't performing as well as he would have expected them to.
It really just felt like, okay, this really is just a platform being ruled by a dictator who does things on his own whims.
And what will be left of Twitter by the time he's done?
Basically, my entire team was gone. By the end of it, infrastructure was just completely gutted. He'll like tweet a thing and then everyone's like, we gotta work on that now because he tweeted it.
I'm supposed to believe this man is a genius.
It just felt like everything was kind of descending into chaos.
Follow Flipping the Bird wherever you get your podcasts. Hey, Prime members, you can listen to episodes ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today.
But anyway, but he's putting on these like tattoos, like these tattoos on his chest, and it does look good, you know. It's like he's like muscular and everything, and Sam's like, yes, and then Danielle's like, I know, like sometimes when I look at Robert's one tatted leg, I'm like, I'm sorry, it's not the same. I just don't feel like we can elevate Robert's strange calf up to Corey's like tattered
it's
pec.
like a skinny, it's like a skinny little forearm calf too, with like bacon, like a bacon tattoo,
a mirepoix.
Yeah, and it would have had like eggs on the other leg, but he just got too tired in the middle because that's Robert. He's just like,
I know. By the way,
so then we go.
I want to say we did meet some people at a recent live show who are 2 chefs, and they had chefy tattoos, and they showed them to us, and they were like, "We still love you." So to that, we say thank you to all the chefs who still listen.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And none of them were bacon, so also thank you for that.
Yeah.
So then Kyle and Amanda are in the bathroom, and Amanda's like, "They're here, Kyle? They came back, Kyle?" He's like, yeah, they're downstairs, they're coming. And he starts blowing up a huge tiger, and Amanda's so excited because, this is her favorite thing. Like some Lindsay drama to get messy with Paige with is Amanda's favorite thing.
Yeah. And
I'm happy for her.
Lindsay has been really, I feel like she's recruiting Gabby to be her new Danielle because she's really reaching out to Gabby a lot. And she's like,
Gabby, hello, Gabby.
She starts doing this thing where she's like, Gabs, yeah, you're totally in Gabs now. So Gabs.
It's like,
and I mean Gabs, not Danielle. I want everyone to notice I'm saying Gabs and not Danielle. And Danielle is telling us in the interview room, and she looks like she's just been sobbing. Her eyes are all puffy, and I mean, she just looks like she's been like watching Schindler's List. I mean, it's like sad. She's just come out of like Life is Beautiful. It's like she's so sad. And
she's going through the whole Holocaust canon right now.
No, I realized that was 2 Holocaust.
She just
watched those movies. Both made me cry.
She watched
very,
The
very
Pianist.
much.
Wow. Oh God, I sobbed at Life is Beautiful. I will never forget. Seeing it in college. They showed it at like our big like on campus movie theater, and it would just come out. So the theater was packed, like 800 people. I don't know, like, the movies where you get choked up, but that movie like made me sob, and I just remember sobbing, and then the lights came up and they were so bright, and all my friends looked at me, and I was sitting there in a chair sobbing, and I will never forget the way my friends looked at me like, geez, Ben, come on,
I went to that movie
together.
alone, okay, and I was not, because it's such a sledgehammer at the end, and it's a fun movie for the most part. For a Holocaust movie, it's like, oh my God, this is so fun, and then it ends terribly, and then it's over, and so you're just left there, and I'm sobbing, just because I don't just cry. I either have no feelings or I have all the feelings. So I'm sitting there sobbing. I had to be walked to my car from 2 strange old ladies. They were like, poor thing, like they literally walked me outside.
I had the kid going, the tank, I won the tank. You're like, but there's so much. I was like, life is beautiful.
I think the only other movie I cried that hard at was the other Holocaust movie, Hope Floats, with Sandra Bullock. Just kidding. That was a sad movie, though. Okay, so here we go. Danielle's crying. She was crying, and she's like, well, great. I'm glad they're back because I want them to finish the summer off with us. I'm like, hopeful, because like I want to figure this out. So let's get ready and have a day.
Okay, Danielle, just stop. At this point, just stop it, Danielle. Okay, it's done for the summer. Like the shop is closed for the summer. This friendship, if it's going to be repaired, you've got to wait a year. It's over. It's not being fixed today.
Gone fishing.
No, it's
so
done.
Corey's like, are you talking to me, Lindsay? Yes, Corey. She's talking to you. She's walking around the house going, Gams. She's like, you talking to me?
She goes, Gabs, I'm gonna need your help. I'm gonna need your help figuring out this outfit for today. And Corey's like, you talking to me? She's like, yeah, of course, I'm talking to you, Corey, about how to wear my outfit.
Yeah, I'm calling Gabs. That's what I call her. It's our thing. Okay. So then Paige is doing Craig's makeup, and Lindsay sees Maya, and Maya's like, what are you doing here? And Lindsay's like, I mean, do you mean, are you happy to see me? And she goes, is Carl here? Maya doesn't hide anything with her face, which I like.
Maya, I mean, look, that's a friendship that was torn asunder by Family Feud, Maya and Lindsay. So that's not coming back together.
It really was. Maya just wanted to smoke a simple J with Carl, and it ruined her friendship for life with Lindsay.
So then Lindsay says this. She goes,
well, Carl does not take well to disappointing people. He's like a people pleaser, and if he can't please everyone, it really affects his self-esteem. And I'm like,
stop. I'm sorry. Can we? Yeah. Thank you for stopping. Go ahead.
No, it's a natural stop there because this is bullshit. Carl is not a people. Have you watched seasons 1 through today, May 23rd, 2023? For crying out loud.
absolute cracker buttons. This is bullshit. Carl is not a people pleaser. He is a people teaser. The Carl fucks with people. This whole season is about Carl not showing up to work to do his job. It's about losing accounts because Carl couldn't keep people pleased. Carl's plot line this season is literally not pleasing anybody, including you. Because the whole engagement thing was fucked up and is now a huge drama because he boned that up somehow. I don't even know how he did it or if it's fair to blame him. But don't sit here. I hate when people are like, you know what? Like, especially fuckboys. I don't even care if he's a reformed fuckboy. Once a fuckboy on my TV, always a fuckboy on my... Yeah. He's like, I'm a people pleaser. You are not. You are a villain who's pretending to be nice because he quit drinking wine coolers. And I will not have it, Carl. I want my fucked up Carl back. Not drunk. But just my fucked up person who admits he's fucked up and wants to change. Not a good Carl who just can't take negativity. Get back to the 5 and dime, Carl Dean.
Look, just because you got some cred on this show from ordering Postmates for the cast does not make you a people pleaser. It just makes you someone who's good with your phone. And he's been nothing but non-confrontational for seasons on end, and that's what has fueled his. It's not that it's what has fueled his fuckboyery, but he's been non-confrontational for seasons on end, and he's pitted people against each other, usually women, because he's usually not confident enough to go up and say, like, I'm not interested in you, or he's not, like, he doesn't want to do that. So he usually pits the women against each other, and then they fight, and he's like, oh, well, she's really going crazy right now. Like, I liked her, but she's kind of going nuts. And that's what he does, and he's just being non-confrontational again. If you were a true people pleaser, to be fair, he probably would have told Danielle about the engagement, because he would have been pleasing a person by doing that.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Because as much as I think Danielle should shut up about that, and it's none of her damn business, no one owed her anything. That's my side, and I'm sticking to it. I do think that Carl knew that it would bother Danielle, of course, and he chose instead. But he was pleasing Lindsay by not telling Danielle, so he was being a people pleaser in that way. But I feel like a true people pleaser would have been like, "Hey, listen, I know you and Danielle, things aren't really working out with you guys right now, and I hope you don't mess this up. But I'm gonna ask her to marry me, and I hope you can be happy for," or something to include. Like, he knew that it was going to bother Danielle. You know what I mean?
Making Lindsay happy does not make you a people pleaser. It makes you a person pleaser. A people pleaser means you help multiple people.
Person. It makes you a terrified person who's doing anything he can to not get smacked in the car. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. So then Lindsay's like,
you just can't, like, run away when, like, things get tough, and, like, that's just, like, not how life works. So, like, you can have a day, and I'll support that, but then we're going back because it's the season finale time.
Good for her. And this was basically, I think, a recap of their fight that they had when they left the house. She's like, you better get your shit together. You get one day to cry. So also, I know what I said about Carl suddenly thinking he's a good person just because he stopped drinking wine coolers was not very nice. Okay. I feel guilty about it.
I mean, a lot of people in recovery have, like, obviously, like, part of that is that they were under the veil of whatever substance, and now they can think clear and do better, like, make better actions.
So I know that
so,
that
like,
was
we
shitty.
know, like,
I know that was shitty, and I'm someone who has actual, like, addiction problems, and like, I get it. You know, I just go too far sometimes when I'm getting angry, and then I'm not really angry, but I know it's a season finale, and I am angry underneath it all, and then it just starts. Then I start yelling at people about alcoholism, which doesn't even make any sense. Like, I don't know what I'm thinking, guys, but I'm not going to edit it out because I said it.
Maybe a revision to that would be that not everything has been fixed just because you stopped drinking.
Yes, I think what I'm trying to say is that it bothers me. I feel like sometimes in my own life when people get sober or they lose weight or whatever their thing is, they've accomplished it. It's like, okay, I'm done with everything, and now I'm holier than thou, and now I'm going to lecture you about everything, and now you're negative and you've got this problem, and maybe you have a problem drinking, and it becomes this this gross place where I think people can get to once they have done the work for themselves, that they expect it from everywhere else. So I guess that's probably where it's coming from. Maybe a little projection from my own life. I just wanted to acknowledge I know that was shitty. So sorry.
Listen, this whole podcast is projection. Everything that we're saying about Carl, I mean, we're just projecting. But I think that there is something to it that, sometimes it's really great when people obviously enter recovery, they, you know, like they're doing stuff to help their lives, etc. But like sometimes there are still fundamental issues there that maybe were the cause of maybe the substance abuse or whatever, but they haven't necessarily still been addressed just by dint of going into recovery. That being said, I was going to say something really salient about all of this. And I was going to say, isn't it interesting if you compare Carl and Countess Luann? Because Countess Luann and Carl had they both had kind of a very, they both had seasons of sobriety that were like, everything is great. I'm turning my life around. This is all going in the right direction. And then they had a second season of sobriety where it was like, oh shit, this is hard. I don't like being around these people and all that. I think it's actually kind of an interesting arc of sobriety that we see on these shows, because I feel like a lot of times the sobriety that we are presented in movies or whatever is like, I cleaned myself up. It's tough, but I'm better now. And here we're really seeing how after that first year, it's hard.
Yeah, I just, my whole thing with it on television is you are on television. So I say getting better is great, but you're still on television, and leaving the show and being like, I'm not going to take the negativity. You're still on Summer House is what I'm saying, basically, long and short of it.
Yep.
So Lindsay comes into Paige's room, and Paige is like, I'm going to be a flamingo. And I love when Lindsay comes in and pretends like she's girlfriends with everybody. She's like, hey, girls, what are we doing? Anybody sing Gabs? And Paige is like, I'm going to be a flamingo.
That's the most Paige-like response to a jungle theme. Hey, what am I? Flamingo.
I'm a flamingo.
I'm a flamingo. Just pretend I'm in Busch Gardens in Florida. I'm a flamingo.
But a clean one, not a dirty one. God, I hate dirty flamingos. Because Paige judges dirty flamingos. I'll bet the first time Paige saw a flock of flamingos, she was like, gross, those are dirty. They're supposed to be pretty and pink. Those flamingos need dry cleaning. Pro tip, steamer.
When she saw that, when she saw that Planet Earth clip of all those flamingos in Peru all moving together as one big clump, she's like, ew.
Gross.
Too many people. Too many flamingos here.
Poor
going to Bolivia.
flamingos.
Stupid flamingos.
So then Sierra is an avatar, which is a lot. I mean, she really goes there with this. She goes full on avatar. I mean, she really has the whole nose. I mean, wow.
I think that was Sierra's way of saying, I'm not in the mood to make out with anyone, so please no one come near me because I'm dressed in full blue paint. So if you're going to try to kiss me, you're going to stain yourself.
Okay, so Kyle's got a big blow-up outfit where it looks like he's a little person riding a little Kyle, little version of Kyle riding a tiger. And now they're gathering in the kitchen, and Lindsay tells Maya, who's dressed like Poison Ivy, she's like, should I call you Poison or should I call you Ivy?
And Carl is dressed, I think he's dressed like the jungle. It's jungle themed and he's the jungle. He's just in a shirt and short, he's just in a leafy attire with sort of a dandy-ish kind of sash around his neck of leaves, right?
I don't remember.
It was
it's like, hey, so welcome to my jungle. We got fun and games. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, by the way. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. I don't know the rest of the song, but I really love that song. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the Carl. Welcome to the jungle. I don't really like negativity, so I'm not going to play fun and games if people are going to be negative. Okay, I can handle that. Okay. Hey, those monkeys in the vines just said they weren't happy for me in my engagement. I just feel like it's just a lot. It's like so much negativity in this jungle right now. It's a lot. I can't handle the negativity of the jungle.
So everybody starts gathering, and Gabs comes in and runs up and hugs Carl. And he's like,
oh, great to see you, Gabby.
Gabs.
Sorry, Gabs. You're Gabs. So it's like our thing. So thanks for your text, Gabs.
Yeah. And he says he feels much better being there now. And she's like, you shouldn't feel bad at all. And he's like, yeah, I want to end this on a good note.
Yeah, so I just like a bunch of leaves, and we're gonna have a great time today. Okay.
So then Chris, he walks in. He's just dressed like he's like a safari guide or something. And then Sam and Corey are dressed sort of like, I guess, Tarzan and Jane, sort of Tarzan-y kind of thing.
Tarzan and Jane, yeah.
Yeah. I guess so. I said initially I thought they were cave people, but I realized no, it's probably Tarzan and Jane.
Well, yeah, because remember they said it's their first couple's outfit?
Yeah.
It's like Tarzan and Jane.
I pushed that out of my brain. So then Amanda's like a leopard, and then Danielle's sort of like a sad zebra, or she's like in zebra stripes, kind of like set, but like a hat zebra. It's a lot of sadness.
Yeah, I guess I'm realizing how much I hate this part of Summer House. It's all costumes and shit. I don't look at them. I don't care about them. I think they're stupid. I'm like, get a personality and stop trying to substitute your personality with terrible Amazon costumes. Let's start there.
That's a great idea.
So the guests come and Oliver comes and Maya's like, well, after I saw that very weird DM, I asked Oliver very briefly via text and he just like glossed over it. And I'm like, that's very weird to me. It's a private situation and we're going to discuss it when it's time, but like I'm going to be here for my friends right now. I was like, look at Maya coming around the corner with some drama.
I know, but also like private situation, like you guys met on Summer House. You guys have been dating on Summer House. This is a Summer House situation, not a private situation. I'm sorry to tell you.
I'm really not liking this, and this is happening a lot across these shows. We're like, no, that's private. It is not private, Maya. It's not fucking private. Get it on television, okay? Even Vanderpump Rules people shouldn't be able to pull this shit, and they've been around way longer than your ass, okay? But that's what Schwartz and Sandoval and all those two were trying to do. You don't get to, and Ariana was trying to do. You don't get to do that. You get to do it.
So Corey and Sam are doing shots. They're doing this thing where they're like, it's like a tradition now. He like does like a shot and then like he kisses her, maybe with a shot still in his mouth, perhaps. And Sam's like, this is like amazing. Like I have a boy on my arm and like I feel like we're on like the same page. Like we're connecting on like real levels now. Like this is like no longer pull my hair, spit in my mouth. Like this can go the distance. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, like if you had asked me when I first met him, I would have been like, whoa, I did not see this coming. This was not on my bingo card. Sam's so funny. I remember, by the way, this was like 2 weeks ago that you met him. So I love that you're acting like you're giving a speech, as you're about to give birth to your first child, after 5 years of marriage. But also, I saw her give an interview when it was coming out that she was dating Corey. And she's like, yeah, he's my guy. I'm going to say it. We're like a boyfriend and a girlfriend. It's crazy. It's like a whirlwind. I think this is so much bigger in their heads. Has this made like a really big splash in this world that I'm not really getting?
Splash. It made a reverse splash. It actually like sucked water in from other sources.
The pool actually drained.
The pool drained. Like no one cares. And I just love how she also speaks in such cliches. Like I did not see this on my bingo card. Like about last night. ... Well, that just happened.
This is live, laugh, love. Am I right? This is nuts. Like, congratulations, you won a giant transphobe that looks like he was drawn by Matt Groening. Okay, congrats.
Enjoy a life of watching him paint smiley faces on walls and call himself an artist.
And don't think it's a coincidence that finally Corey can like fall in love, and it's with somebody who looks like they could be a correspondent on Fox News. Okay, so you want to see what happens
Played
next?
by Amy
Watch
Adams.
a movie called Bombshell. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
There we go.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Hey, I'm Brooke.
And I'm Arisha.
And we're the hosts of Wondery's podcast, Even the Rich, where we bring you absolutely true and absolutely shocking stories about the most famous families and the biggest celebrities the world has ever seen.
Our newest series is all about the teen movie icon Gabrielle Union. After spending her childhood trying to assimilate and breaking into a racist industry, Gabrielle thought her success meant someone else had to fail. But when she's faced with hard choices beyond her control, she realizes that the only way to find real success is to come together and build community.
In our series, Gabrielle Union, Bigger, Badder, Better, we'll tell you how she shook off her need for perfection, found her true self, and created the life she always wanted.
Follow Even the Rich wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen ad-free on Amazon Music or the Wondery app.
So it's time to party. So lots of parties, lots of taking photos and stuff. And then like Craig, meanwhile, he's like wandering through this party in an existential crisis about like getting engaged. So he goes up to Amanda. He's like, "Hey, like when you and Kyle dated, like how far away did you guys live from each other? Like, was it far?" She's like, 15 minutes. Oh, when did you move in together? She's like, I told him I didn't want to move in until we were engaged. Do we have to talk about this now? We're kind of like partying. Wait, another question. Did Kyle ever like try to jam a hole in the wall with a butter knife? And did he ever maim his hand in the process? Just wondering if I'm allowed to do that with Paige.
Hey, like, what if, like, Carl was, like, sewing and stuff and telling people that he was a lawyer, but then he wasn't really finishing law school at all? Like, what would you do?
She's like, I feel like we're starting to talk about you a little bit now, Craig.
Okay.
Hey, can you explain Inception to me? I'm, like, still confused a little bit. Like, what was up with that top?
Craig, I know, Craig, you just need some advice from somebody to explain why Paige is being like this. Paige is waiting for her own engagement season. I'm reading a lot of speculation online that, Paige knows that she's too good for Craig. That's always been what I've said, right? Paige is smart. She obviously knows she's too good for Craig, right? She's obviously just playing this out for TV. But they do seem to have like a chemistry and something going on. So I'm not sure that I believe that anymore. At this point, I think she's just like, stop talking about this. Next season is our season. Last season was Amanda's season. This season is fucking Lindsay. You want to get upstaged by Lindsay's shit? No, I want my own season. I'm a clean flamingo. I'm one of the only clean flamingos in the world.
I'm a flamingo, not a pigeon. Act accordingly. So, yeah, she very well may be. I'm just down for like no engagement seasons from anyone. That's kind of like my wish from Bravo.
Nice? Also, you know what that sounds good in? My real life. That sounds good too. Everybody's like, oh my God, I'm getting married. I'm like, you're 50. No one cares anymore. Just stop making me go to your things. How many things have I been to of yours? You are 50 years old. I've gone to your first 2 weddings and your first 3 babies. Leave me alone. At what point do you just get to tell people, leave me the fuck alone?
Well, I know. I am really moving to that place. I am definitely moving to the place of no longer going. I really used to feel such guilt. I got invited to a wedding in Pakistan once, and I felt guilty that I was like, I don't feel like I can make it.
Who got married in Pakistan?
It was my fraternity brother. And so I got invited to this Pakistani wedding in Pakistan. And I was like, I feel so bad that I can't make it. And now I'm like, are you kidding me? You're lucky if I'm gonna go to a wedding at Pavilions down the street.
That's a pretty big ask.
It's a big ask.
Okay, so Craig's just like,
Yeah, but like she's not wanting me to propose. Or like, when did you propose?
You're talking to Amanda, who married Kyle, the guy who's currently figuring out how he's going to be peeing on a tree while he's wearing a blow-up tiger after spending a year growing a mullet. Okay.
Oh God. I think honestly, I think Paige is just playing the long game. She's just wearing Craig down until he finally like gives up and moves to New York City. That's all she's doing. I mean, she may be wanting an engagement season out of it. I think she's just waiting for him to just kind of like age out of Charleston or
wait for Southern Charm to get canceled or something.
She's like, one of these days they're going to do something so racist down there that the whole show is going to go down in flames, and then he'll move up here.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I think she's just waiting for her own season. God bless her heart.
Could be all of the above.
Let's go to Oliver is behind the bar. Now a bunch of people are there, right? The party has started. So Oliver is behind that outside bar. And some girl comes up and seems kind of innocent to me. But she's like, oh my God, hey, what are you drinking? And he's like, tequila. And she goes, tequila and tea? Because he has a teacup. And he goes, no, just tequila. And she goes, but it's in a teacup. You guys, this guy is drinking a tequila from a teacup. It's some crazy shit. What's your name again? You are nuts. You are literally nuts.
Okay, I will just do double personality since I think you have 0 personality. And I'll just do it for both of us, okay? And so he's just like talking, and Maya's like, Oliver, get over here. Get over here. What are you even doing right now? Come on over. Get over. Can I grab him for a moment? Get over here right now. And she is like angry. But then she goes, "Are you mic'd up?" He goes, "Yes." She goes, "Fine, never mind. I'll talk to you later about it. Okay, can you just stop mingling with women here, please?"
I think the producers should have walked on to the set, which I know they're there. Just walk on and just say, "Maya, you're fucking fired. Get out." Who does that? It's like showing up to the secretary pool and refusing to answer a phone. What do you think you're doing here? Okay, it's like showing up to build a wall and refusing to put some cement in between some bricks. You don't get to do that. This is the factory. This is the pain factory. Get to widgeting. Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like Maya has not been on there long enough to self-produce. So,
obviously not, because she gets caught on mic every time telling him to turn them. Well, we can hear you when you say turn off the mic.
This is Bravo. This is not their first time dealing with mics. Okay,
fired.
Do you know that they like literally? I mean, we found Osama bin Laden because of Bravo. They had a mic somewhere in like Europe, and they're like, just turn up that gain a little bit. Got him. They just got him all the way across countries away.
Luann went to the bathroom one time when she was on concert, on tour.
Oh, well, I just booked this amazing gig at a wedding in Pakistan.
Love for sale. Wow, even the helicopters were out for this one.
Yes, they're saying it's called Zero Dark 30, which at first I thought was a criticism of my show, but it turns out it was just a mission that they used me for to find Osama bin Laden on Bravo.
Oh, can I get a bigger spotlight? This is just like a little tiny laser. How are people supposed to see me in this? Need this bigger, please?
We got the yacht. Oh, what was that? We got the terrorists.
Okay, so she's pissed at Oliver, and I put fire her. You're on a reality show. All you're willing to say on camera is that you dated Kwame and you think Sam talks too much. Goodbye. You've overstayed.
And by the way,
goodbye.
Even the Sam thing, she pulled Sam into a quiet closet away from people and was like speaking in hushed tones. So I think that actually that is really bad. And I think that as much as I enjoy Maya and I think that she's like really smart and has I like her perspective on things, I don't know if she's cut out for this show.
Maya is one of those products that you see on Facebook and they look amazing. She had promise, but it really didn't deliver. You know what I mean? And if it does deliver, it's taken way too long and it's no longer worth it. So go. Bye.
Or maybe it was delivered and there was never a confirmation email, and so it just sat in her stoop, and maybe it was never received, and the person who ordered it in the first place thought it was never sent at all.
Ooh, we no longer have a need. Okay, goodbye. So she's like, would you stop mingling with women here, please? And he's like, okay, sorry. So she walks off, and all pissed off. And then Therese is sword fighting with Chris.
Yeah.
Chris must think this whole season revolves around him because he's really putting a lot of effort into every scene he's in.
Chris is like my least favorite sort of person I want to encounter at a party. Just like brash, and I think he believes he's more entertaining than he is, which, I suppose I could probably do that too. But I maybe that's why I don't like it in Chris, because it's projection.
I believe I'm more entertaining than I am, but thankfully I'm really only there to entertain myself in the first place.
But you're like literally entertaining.
I'm a masturbatory narcissist.
You're entertaining. Okay, like you're like literally an entertaining person. Chris is not. Like no one has laughed at Chris's jokes all season long except for him.
Bless his heart. It's so sad when you can't even like somebody that works out like that.
I know, he's so handsome, but can you believe a handsome person has a bad personality? It's so strange.
It's crazy. So then we go to Gabby and Matt. So she's Gabs, as we call her now. It's totally our thing. Gabs has brought Matt that little wiener she's dating, the human equivalent of a wiener dog, Matt.
Yeah.
She's brought him, and he's like, hey, I've been trying to text you. And she's like, well, I don't have my phone on me at every given moment, but I just got my phone, so now I can see, oh my God, you did text me. Wow. Look at me. I'm making an effort to be a good person. So is it working?
I know. She's saying, and she tells us like her little arc is that she she feels like she's giving people a chance that she wouldn't have given people a chance for before. So to everyone who thought there might be some sort of arc about Sierra feeling that Gabby is privileged, congratulations. There was no follow through on that storyline, and whatever clash we thought might come from that, maybe it'll happen at the reunion, it seems like, but yeah, congrats. So
I still have hope for Gabby, though. This is like Gabby's first season, and I think she'll come to play a little bit harder.
I think Gabby has tremendous potential. I hope they bring her back.
I really do.
Also, importantly about Matt. So Matt comes up. He's like, "Oh, by the way, I want to introduce you to my friends Kevin and Molly, because of course I've got a set of friends named Kevin and Molly." And I believe the only reason why they included this is because then when they meet Molly, she goes,
Hi, I'm Molly. Nice to meet you. Like, I love your outfit. It's like so jungly.
It's like so jungly.
Hi, I'm Molly. Okay.
"Why is Molly not a cast member?" Like, to think that we could have been doing
Molly's
that.
stat.
Please.
I know. But
We
then
need a
they'd
full
have to bring
season.
Kevin and Matt along, and Kevin and Matt really aren't. Kevin and Matt are like, let's play Trivial Pursuit, but then they never get anything right. You're like, why? I only wanted to be on your team because you wanted to play this game. I figured you knew how to play the game. They're like, no, it's just a good conversation starter.
Kevin's like, "Hey, I got 2 tickets to the Louis Capaldi concert. Does anyone want to come?" I'm like, "Please, just go. Don't be on this show."
Okay, so jungly. So Lauren is there, who I actually saw that, and I was like, "Who the fuck is Lauren?" Okay, so Chris, that's the girl that Chris is dating. He's like, "So what are you supposed to be, a fairy?" She goes, I guess I'll give you another shot at that one." He goes, "A tooth fairy?"
Chris,
That's
tooth fairy is a
another
fairy.
kind of fairy, Chris.
Don't get more specific
Fuck.
under the fairy category.
Fucking idiot.
It's not. It's jungle themed. She's dressed as maybe a butterfly of some sort, an insect, a dragonfly.
Yeah, dum.
We never get to find out.
We never find out. So then Maya, that is Nene, right?
Yes,
Did you see
you
Nene?
said that last week, and I
Nene.
was like, Ronnie is literally crazy. What is he talking about? It was totally Nene from Top Chef.
I love Nene.
And why did they not even give her a courtesy thing like that just said Nene, Maya's friend, like a little Easter egg for us? That was so rude, but I was so happy to see her.
Yeah, I love her, and she was having so much fun and laughing. I was like, I want to be friends with Nene.
I know.
Okay, so Maya's talking to Nene, and she's like, can you believe Oliver's here? Like, I mean, we got a camera on us, so I can't talk about this right now. I'm like, you're talking to another reality star. Even Nene would talk about this.
Nene was ready.
Nene would be like, that guy's cheating on me, and here's how to properly cut an onion.
I know.
Well, I tell you about it.
Cut it from the back of your knife instead, which, by the way, Ronnie, you told me about that, and she even sent us the video, and I still can't do it. I don't know why. I have a mental block.
It's literally the easiest way to do it.
Can't do it. This is my pain. So, and then...
Sorry, I just can't have this negativity right now about my onion cutting.
You know what? Like, Nene's just like a people pleaser, just like me.
So Kyle's walking around. He's got this inflatable tiger, as you mentioned. And then Chris has like a machete kind of thing. And Chris is like, "I'm going to chop off your tiger head." And Kyle's like, "Ha!" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to do it." And Kyle's like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "I'm going to do it. You want me to do it? Want me to do it?" And there's like this tense moment where Kyle is thinking, is Chris going to chop off the head of my costume? And I was like, this is why I don't like Chris. Because he can't, like, he would have cut off that costume head and think it's funny, but he would have ruined Kyle's costume in the process.
I mean, that would have been the one good thing he did this summer. I would have been like, recast. I mean, cast him again. Okay, so then we see that we're in the kitchen now, and Danielle and Lindsay are both in there, but they're talking shit to other people about each other. And it's like, ding, it gives them the arrows, which is now how Summer House is like, this is how we this is how we're branding Summer House. We do a lot of arrows with names and say, ding. And that's how you can tell Winter House, Summer House, and Summer House, Martha's Vineyard are all part of the same family.
Yeah.
I was like, I love that they had that meeting where somebody was like, we're going to do arrows and dings with names on them.
Like, can we get Carissa in here? Yeah, she's our arrows and circles girl. Yeah, we have a scene in a kitchen. Can we get like 2 circles, 1 arrow, maybe some chirons on that? I'm right on top of that.
Carissa's like, okay, guys, got it. Like, Carissa, that is a swirly. Okay, that is a swirly. How are we supposed to know it's a swirly? It needs to point at somebody, Carissa. Someone teach Carissa arrows, okay?
So basically, like, one girl is telling Lindsay, like, "Oh my God, Lindsay, like, I haven't even gone over to talk to Danielle yet because, like, I'm afraid I'm just gonna, like, snap it. I'm just gonna, like, go off on Danielle, you know?" And Danielle's like, then Lindsay's like,
Yeah, Carl was like a disaster in the car on the way over here. He was just like, I'm a people pleaser, and like, I'm gonna turn this Kia Telluride right around using navigation assist, and I'm gonna drive right back to New York.
And the friend's like, have you talked to her yet? Now, wasn't this the same friend who was being Danielle's friend in just a little while? Isn't this the real skinny chick with the black skirt and the big black hat she's talking to?
I couldn't tell most people apart. I was just like generic people, you know, it was just faces, blurs, hats,
it's
bathing
Summer
suits.
House. It's like watching a party of we avatars. Okay, so
it's like going to the hot sauce aisle. At some point, they're just all sauce.
Yeah, and none of them are spicy, so that's not a great example.
But it's actually the perfect example for this cast.
the spicy aisle.
Mild, not spicy people.
Yeah, if mild salsa had its own line in the grocery store, yeah, it would have been perfect. Otherwise, I think like the bread aisle.
Bread. Yeah.
You know? Or the crackers.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. The friend is like, have you talked to her yet? And Lindsay's like, no, maybe she realized I'm really pissed. And the friend's like, she's about to get her ass handed to her, and I can't wait. You go, Lindsay. And so then we cut to Corey and Sam, like the love story of the season, with his hand up her ass crack, licking each other's tongue. And she goes, this is a very MGK of us. I'm like, yeah, that's why you're doing it.
What did she say? What did she say?
Posers.
You said MGK?
MGK, Machine Gun Kelly. They're like licking each other's tongue. Oh,
God. Why do I ask these questions?
I'm trying to be like Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly.
Life goals.
You're not.
Machine Dumb Kelly.
So what were you doing with this?
That's Corey's laugh. That's Corey going.
Oh, Corey's like. I thought you were doing their making out during the making out scene. I was like, wow,
that also. It's not that far away from what is that like Friday the 13th? Like, but that is out course. So,
but with sounds.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess she said this is very MGK of us, which I'm like disgusted. I'm disgusted that this has entered my soul. And Sam is like. She's like, do I look hot? He goes, of course, you look sexy as fuck. She goes, I mean, I know. I just need to hear it. It's very Samantha Fox of me. Not Samantha Fox.
Megan
Fox.
Like Megan Fox.
Naughty Girls Indeed Love too.
She's like, Megan Fox, what if I transformed right now? He's like, please don't. Please don't. I don't believe in that.
Bumblebee. So Craig is now pulling Paige over for a chat, and they sit down in Adirondack chairs, and she's like, I feel like we're like 80 years old.
Chairs. Sorry, go ahead.
You do?
That's all I have to say. I hate an Adirondack. What an uncomfortable, stupid design for a chair. Okay, go on.
No, I like them because they're angled. They're nice.
Just squat.
You know what?
It's like squat and fall backwards, you know?
Well, at the very least, can you respect that they have a really lovely armrest size?
Yeah,
they're wide.
Sure.
Yeah,
they need to be because you have to pull yourself up from the depths of hell to get out of them.
But it's like
they're not for big people, I guess. Is
okay.
What I'm saying.
I get that. I love how we can sit in them, and then there's like always a place for your drink, in a way that's not like one of those Costco chairs with the drink sits in it. I like that. So they sit there, and Paige is like, I feel like we're like 80-year-olds like watching our like kids have a party, which is funny because. I guess that means we had children late in life. But either way.
It's funny because that's how Shep, Craig, and Austin always look when they're partying. But glad you're finally joining. So Craig's like,
congrats, babe. We built this.
She's like, no one's driving. Everyone's sleeping over. So, what's up, dude?
And he's like, well, before our conversation, like, I thought I was going to propose in the next, like, 6 months. But then, like, after our conversation, I know a lot more now than I did before. But, like, after our conversation, there's, like, a lot of stuff that has to happen before the conversation stuff happens. And then that conversation, it's just a lot of conversation.
She's like, how is Paige still sitting there? How has Paige not just flicked him on the forehead and just been like, I'm not your flamingo, and walked away? That's the ending I need.
She probably swapped herself out for like a lawn flamingo and just put it on the chair. She's like, she's just back over where the other people like, Craig's still talking to the decoy. Yeah, he doesn't even realize. So anyway, yeah, she is like, he's like, I want to have like kids the next 5 years. She goes, same, like two really cute, adorable flamingos.
Yeah, and like that means we have to get like married, and then we have to get, but before then we have to get engaged, and then in order to get engaged, we have to like live together. In order to live together, we have to like actually like book up a plane ticket. And like, what if Orbitz goes down? Like, then what do we do? Like, where do we get a plane ticket? I'm like, I try to go on Expedia, but like I misspell it all the time, and I always wind up going to Federal Express, and it's just like confusing. Like, how are we gonna get married then?
By the way, none of that's true. You can get pregnant right now. You could get married and never live together. You can do whatever the fuck you want, okay? Welcome to America. So Paige
Talk
is
about
like,
a people
well,
pleaser,
okay.
Ronnie. Giving those
Do
options.
whatever you want. That's what I tell myself now, and I live a much happier life. If ever I'm sad, I say, you know what you can do right now? Whatever the fuck you want.
You know what? There's a very wise song that goes something like this. I do whatever I want, whenever I want, with no expectations.
Good song. God,
Great
thank
song.
you, Real Housewives of Orange County.
Love the OC
Okay,
reels.
so she's like, yeah, okay, I get it. You want to start the process, but I feel like you get scared. Like, if we don't do things immediately, I'm going to, like, run away. Yeah. Because you know why? Because everyone's telling him, she's way too good for you. She's going to run the hell away from you. Does she not have ears? Does she not hear you? Does she not see you drooling half the time? I'm like, what's wrong with her?
You just threw a quarter sheet pan into the pool yesterday, and then you're like wondering like why she might run away. Okay, so like yeah, so Craig's like
You just started crying because you forgot to call your mom on Mother's Day and then yelled at her. Okay, that's why.
You force her to watch Minions when she wants to watch Love Island. So Craig's like, sometimes I just think things are like too good to be true. And Paige goes, okay, Craig, if I knew I couldn't be with you, like I would know it. Like the last time I had this conversation with someone, I like broke out into hives, which luckily were like very in at that moment. So I looked great. But literally,
unfortunately, it was because it was a rabbit that I was having the conversation with, and I'm allergic to rabbits. So I learned never to have that conversation with a rabbit.
I was
again.
7 years old, and I said, Mr. Tinkleface, I cannot marry you. And I got hives. And literally
Last
had to
time
go
I
to the
had that
hospital.
conversation, I was eating a peanut butter cracker, and my throat closed up. I almost died because I shouldn't be eating peanut butter. So I know now I'm not eating peanut butter. I could totally marry you.
I know some things that I didn't know before. And, you know, I know that being with you is like not the wrong decision. It's just a foolish one. And I do think that like thinking the next step like maybe like, you know, moving maybe. It's like maybe like more of a unit. Like maybe that's more important. We could just be a unit where I'm like a very fashionable, smart flamingo and you're just like the dirty shrimp pool that I wade in.
Yeah, she's like, well, we should do it. Like, if you have to be in Charleston, then I'll be in Charleston. And if I have to be in New York, then we'll be in New York. He's like, oh my God, that's great. And she's like, gross. He's like, but I need a closet. She's like, no. But where am I going to put my clothes? I don't care. I hope you die.
Do you want to move in? Yes. Okay. Well, that's too
With
bad.
Sierra?
I'm not inviting
Okay,
you. Hold on. Let me call up Perry, see if he still has an extra room. By the way,
so that's their little ending.
And that was
Cute.
clearly her saying, right, like, when you're shooting Southern Charm, I'll go down there. When I'm shooting Summer House, you come up here.
Yeah, we're going to keep our 3 shows, is what she's saying. So then Kyle and Amanda, they're, you know, kind of gossiping. They're wasted. Kyle's like, oh, yeah, like when you show your butt. Did you talk to Lindsay or Carl yet? She's like, I mean, I said hi, but... And he's like, well, I don't know if they've talked to Danielle. She goes, I don't think so. He's like, well, I actually do think, like I think Danielle would have made an effort to reconcile it. And she's like, yeah, deep down, Danielle sees it as repairable. And he goes, I don't think Lindsay does. She goes, really? Fuck. You two. The worst, these guys. Always brewing something. So party.
And Craig and Paige come back to the group, and they're pretending like Craig just proposed. Like she's pretending to be like, here's my ring. It's like, oh my God. And she goes, I said to him, I'm in full feathers. I'd fucking kill you. Do not propose to me while I'm wearing feathers. I'm not like Lindsay, who puts on a hideous dress and walks to a beach under the guise of gathering wood and is happy with that, okay? I want something more sophisticated than fucking feathers.
Gams. Sorry, guys, that's our thing. Hi,
It's like-
Gams.
It's like the below deck sailing fire alarm that goes off every episode.
Gabs, Gabs, Gabs.
Like Captain Glenn just runs into the party trying to, he's like, drop anchor, drop anchor. This is a party in the Hamptons. There's no anchor to drop.
All right, so we're in the kitchen again, and Danielle comes in when Lindsay's in there. So Lindsay's making a big show out of calling Gabs to open champagne together, and Danielle's just standing there texting next to them. And so then Jerez comes in and wants water, and they don't have any. And like, why did I write that down?
I wrote that too, because Danielle goes, Jerez, you know what's hilarious? You literally always ask for water, and we literally always don't have it. Fun fact about the summer house. So, this explains why they're so thirsty. So Jerez, we haven't seen him since the beginning of the season, and he's back, and he precipitates the big fight because these like 5 people, Lindsay and Danielle, are literally next to each other but not acknowledging each other. But Jerez brings everyone in to do a toast, so they have to do, like, Lindsay and Danielle have to do this forced toast, and they toast, and then Danielle's so awkward. It's really hard to know that she's just really terrible in this. She goes, so this is probably what I would have preferred the engagement to be a little bit more like. Well, I'm like, Danielle, you could have.
That is what it was like for everybody else.
Everyone else.
You
could have just done it. If you wanted to be like this, you could have acted like that instead of acting like a crazy lunatic. Like I've said a million times, because people don't seem to realize that I have this opinion. I have been on Danielle's side about the friendship going asunder. I have not been on her side for how she acted and her response to the engagement. I think her response has been absolutely crazy and so tacky and so ridiculous. And now she's going to be like, it would have been nice if this is what the engagement was like. You don't get to shame her for how the engagement was. And she didn't even plan that. Well, she probably did plan that party. Let's be honest.
Well, she's like, okay, we're going to have this discussion now, right? And Lindsay's like, okay, here we go. So this is the big finale discussion. Everybody knows that this is going to be big. And so here we go. So she's like, yeah, there's nothing more than I want to celebrate more than your happiness, Lindsay. I don't think you know that, though. And Lindsay's like, I don't. Like, Lindsay's really cold. Like, I don't. Now, I think Lindsay's doing this cold thing because she knows what Danielle's going to do. And Danielle spent her entire engagement party walking around to all of Lindsay's friends being like, can you believe I didn't know? Talking shit about Lindsay and Carl, okay? Then Lindsay finds out about that stuff. Then she spent all day today going around to all the girls being like, oh my God, we're going to have a talk. I don't even know when the talk's going to be, to all the people that don't like Lindsay. So right. I think Lindsay was very, very smart. She knows Danielle is going to try and make a huge dramatic scene about this and cry and go into histrionics. And I think Lindsay's like, I'm not going to give that to you. And I think it comes across looking cold as fuck. But guess what? Lindsay is cold as fuck. She's my little robot, okay? She's my little RoboCop. And I love it. So you go, Lindsay. You go. Lindsay right now.
Lindsay was hilariously cold in this fight. So Danielle's like, I've been wanting to celebrate you for a really long time. And Lindsay's like, yeah, well, last Saturday was that opportunity. So she goes, and I absolutely agree with you that was the opportunity. And she goes, that was the moment. But Danielle's saying it in a way of like, that was the moment. Like, you guys should have included me in it. Instead of saying, you're right, I totally overreacted. I think I'm in my feelings, yada, yada, yada. But instead, she's like implying that it would have been the moment, but you guys ruined it, which is like not the case at all, Danielle.
And Lindsay's just like, yeah. Like, she's giving her this really cold smile. Like, yeah, Danielle. Like, she's just a piece of shit on her shoe. And Danielle's like, but I found out like 30 minutes before. She goes, yeah, because he didn't want to ruin the surprise. He didn't want anyone to ruin the surprise.
So this was like a little bit of bullshit.
I don't, because Danielle's such a fucking drama queen. She'd been having a fit about them moving too fast and doing all of this other stuff. I think Danielle would have gone to Lindsay and been like, don't do it. Or she would have made some kind of scene about it.
Yeah, I actually don't disagree on that point, but like, I think this is classic Carl to be like, oh, I didn't want to ruin the surprise. But he told Chris, who we barely knew. So it's like, just say, I didn't want to tell you, Danielle, because honestly, I don't trust you with this information anymore. That's all you have to say.
Right, you're not supportive of not supportive of us. Why would I tell you?
Because by the way, Danielle totally would have ruined the surprise. But I'm just saying, like, we didn't tell anyone. It's like, but you told Chris. So it's like, I hate that kind of like, that's more of a Carl thing than a Lindsay thing. I hate that kind of like double talk that Carl does. You know?
Yeah.
Who's a
So
people
then
pleaser?
Amanda comes to the stairs to listen with Craig because this is like Amanda's favorite TV show, Lindsay going crazy. So she comes and Craig is listening because he's a mess as well. And she goes, oh my God, let's move to that bench over there, Kyle. It's like, I'm Craig. She goes, I know, but I have to say, Kyle, let's go over there, Kyle. So Danielle's like, Lindsay, I thought we were best friends. And Lindsay goes, I did too. Danielle's like, you don't think that would hurt me? And she goes, a moment between the two of us? Why is that about you, Danielle?
Because I thought I meant something to you. And she's like,
Yeah, well, I thought you did too.
and he goes, you don't think that I was going to hurt from that? I'm like, Danielle, this is a terrible argument. Like this is not a strong point, Danielle. You've lost the argument for the summer, and I was a supporter. You've lost the argument.
Well, thank you, because I get sick of ranting about it. It's nice to not have to say it. But also Danielle's trying to start crying now, which is cracking me up because she thought she was going to get into this thing with Lindsay. Lindsay was going to have a fit. Danielle could be a huge victim and run off crying. It was going to be this huge scene. But instead, Lindsay's not giving in. But Danielle is continuing the scene as if it were going that way. It's like, Danielle, you're so bad at this. You're bad
Danielle
at this.
is bad.
You've always
Honestly,
been
she
bad
is.
at this. And now we're seeing just how bad you are at it. Okay. So Lindsay's staying calm. She goes like, well, I thought you meant something to me too. So Danielle's like, like trying to cry. So Lindsay laughs and she goes, you don't think that everything you've said this summer hasn't hurt me? And Danielle's like, so that's what you're thinking? Just because I thought you were moving too fast, you wanted to cut me out of an entire monumental part of your life? No, it's not just because you said she was moving too fast. It's that you went to all of her enemies to talk shit about her. I've said it every week, but that's why. And I hate that they never address it. And this is where I kind of think Lindsay is kind of losing in this fight because she's not bringing up the important things.
Right.
But I also think that Lindsay's like, I'm not giving this girl the scene. Fuck her. I don't have to justify anything to her. We're not friends.
Well, I also think that Lindsay's a robot. And when she does move on from someone, she does not get emotionally invested. She's like, whatever. So, and then this is actually funny because this is when Lindsay kind of just turns into a game show host, because Danielle's like, so you just want to cut me out of an entire monumental part of your life?
Correct. Nice question. Correct.
And Danielle's like, you think I don't want to be happy for you?
Correct.
Okay,
When Lauren, you're moving to the super speed glitter round.
Okay, I think I'll take, are you serious? For 300. That's fucking crazy.
Correct.
So Danielle's getting all worked up. So then we hear someone go, Sierra, I'm going in. So then Craig and Amanda motion, no, because they're like, don't ruin the scene. They're waving at them from, because they're hidden behind the wall, sitting on the bench listening into this. So Sierra's like, oh my God, they said we can't go in there. Why are they being like that? Let's go to the front. And Craig's like, oh my God, they're having a full on, they might swing at each other.
Craig
the
is
biggest
so
drama
dramatic.
queen. Out of all of these drama queens, Craig is the biggest one.
He's going on telling everyone outside, it's like a war zone in there. I think they're going to swing at each other. One of them has a knife. It's scary, bro.
Lindsay's got a chainsaw. It's getting ugly in there.
So they go to Sierra and Maya run to the front door. And so we go back to the scene. And Danielle's like, I have been through every single breakup you've ever had. And Lindsay's like, correct. Speed round, go.
Next question.
If you win this round, I might start calling you a Gabs.
All right. This next category is please ask a rhetorical question.
Okay. You don't think I want you to be happy?
Correct. $300 for you.
But you want to know why?
She goes, okay, then why? And Lindsay goes,
Because the second I started dating Carl, you said no.
and she goes, if you see it from that perspective, Lindsay, you are so wrong. You don't think I would have put everything aside and been there with fireworks for you? And she's like,
because you've proven otherwise this summer, Danielle.
she's like, I would have done anything for you. I would have done anything for you.
I went to the Hudson River and I stood there and I looked at a barge and there were no fireworks. So if you're going to say that there were fireworks for us, I don't think so. So no.
Because, by the way, that is the role. That's the only role Lindsay will accept of Danielle in this friendship, by the way, is someone who will literally light fireworks for her. And so, the moment that So like, it's just funny because Danielle wants to like supplicate herself for Lindsay, but then she gets like upset when like when she's not in that. She gets upset when Lindsay gets mad at her for not being in the role of being the supplicant in a weird way. I don't know. You know what? I'm not even going to bother trying to untangle my thoughts on this one.
Well, my friend, another friend of mine put it in a really good way. She said Danielle is the supporting player in the relationship, and she's upset knowing that that's all she, like, she's upset accepting it. You know, she's like, she's a supporting player to somebody who's like always a star, and anybody in Lindsay's life is in her movie. You know what I mean? How they tell you in self-help, like, this is your movie. You are the star of your own movie, or whatever. I think Lindsay takes that very, very literally, and everybody else in it, like, is just kind of in her story. You know, she's not necessarily in theirs. Now, that said, we really haven't ever seen Danielle do anything but kissing Lindsay's ass. So I have no idea. I mean, we know that Lindsay's been supportive of Danielle's app and quitting her job and doing all of this stuff. Lindsay was never not supportive of that. She's been really supportive of Robert and all of that. So I don't know that that's a fair assessment. I don't know if we come to that because Lindsay's just the loudest one. But, yeah. I don't know. I think Danielle's just kind of a sad sap, and I think that she realized her meal ticket was leaving because she was the supporting player to this star.
Yeah.
And if she wasn't going to be friends with this star anymore, and the star was going to have her own person, she needed to befriend the other girls. And to befriend those girls, she brought them the red meat they wanted, which was fights with Lindsay. That's how I look at it.
I think like I'm there with you 95%. Like I don't think that she like brought like red meat to them so that way she could become friends with them. But I do think that she realized she thought they had a better friendship than they really had. And Lindsay and Carl, you know, Lindsay definitely started, you know, just focusing on Carl and not Danielle. And Danielle, that's a tough pill to swallow when people do that. And Danielle could not swallow it because if she's not going to be a supporting character, if she's supporting Air, what is she really like? What is her life then? So I think that's like, I think all her arguments have been all over the map all summer long, but they all just come down to the fact that she feels left behind, and that's that.
So Danielle's doing this, I would have done everything, and like throwing this fit because, you know, she knows she has an audience too. And Lindsay's like, I'm sure, Danielle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay just
and Danielle's like,
it.
don't look at me with your fucking smug face right now. And she goes, why are you yelling at me right now, Danielle? And Amanda's like horrified by this question. And Danielle screams, you don't know how much I fucking care for you. And that. And she goes, no, because of how you've been treating me this summer. No, I don't. And I was like, good for you. Good for you letting Danielle just look fucking insane. I mean, this is the best move, and I can't believe Lindsay has gotten to the point where she can do this. This is not Lindsay at all. Lindsay would come in here and verbally beat the shit out of this woman, but she's like, chill.
Well, because she knows she has the upper hand in this one because Danielle's so colossally fucked up at the engagement party that there's really nothing she can say here. Like Lindsay just has the upper hand in this argument, and whatever valid points Danielle does have about like, you guys have left me behind and I think I'm acting out, but like I still want to be like, whatever, she could have done certain things, but she's not. And like the moment she calls Lindsay's face smug, it's like, you've now officially lost this argument. And so and Lindsay knows it, so she has all the power. She doesn't need to get mad, she doesn't need to get flustered. And Danielle's like, for this summer, like I treat you for the summer, I've been here for you for fucking years. And like, and same, which is hilarious because I don't really think that Lindsay's been there for Danielle the same way.
But why? I mean, we would, you know, why would we say Lindsay hasn't been there for Danielle? We've seen Lindsay being a good friend to Danielle. I think we just all assume that Lindsay's this horrible person because she is so like aggressive in her like her personality, her happiness and her unhappiness is just so out there. But I've never seen her be a bad friend to Danielle. I've never seen her throw Danielle under the bus in any way to anybody else or talk shit about her or do any of the stuff that Danielle's done to Lindsay. I've never seen Lindsay do anything but be kind and nice and include Danielle in everything. And maybe it's because she does want a sidekick, you know? Maybe it is, but she hasn't been mean to her sidekick. Listen, if she looks at Danielle as the help, she hasn't been mean to the help. I haven't seen any proof that she's been a bad friend to Danielle.
You're right. She hasn't thrown her under the bus. etc. But it does seem like their relationship revolves around Lindsay and Lindsay's issues. And so like when Danielle does need a friend, I always think of that scene this summer where Danielle's like crying and she's like, I just need you to check in on me. Like she's clearly like something's going on, and Lindsay just, rather than like talking with her, Lindsay just like shuts her up. It's like, I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna hug you. There, be quiet. Stop talking to me. Lindsay's like, I don't want to hear this. I don't actually want to hear what's going on in your life. But either way,
I think she was saying, you need more from me, then I'll shut up and just give you a hug. Like, fine. And then she did check in with her after that and was saying, but what about you? You said to check in more. You know what I mean? So I don't know, because to me it looked like Danielle disappeared too. She got with Robert. She quit her job. She moved out of the city. She went to the country and was living in this little place alone, waiting for Robert to come home from work while she's working on this app, which is still not even close to being done, because I saw her trying to hire for free help or whatever on Instagram a few weeks ago. So I think she's been in her own weird place, and now she's trying to make it sound like she's been left. When Lindsay even said, like, you're the one who left the city. Like, why don't you make plans and come to the city? Like, why is this all me?
I think, by the way, like the unspoken thing in all this is that Danielle's relationship has been going down the tubes. She's got this startup that who knows what it's doing, and like I would not be surprised if that's also fueling about 50% of these like wild emotional reactions to everything that's happening. So Danielle's like, she's like, what's wrong with you? You are coming at me with no emotion. I can see it on your face that you don't give a shit about me, and you don't give a shit about this friendship, and I'm not going to let you point the finger at me. And Lindsay's like,
I'm literally not talking.
Not gonna happen. That's what's not. And she's losing it, and all the girls are on the stairs listening, like, oh my God, this is amazing. Paige is like, I worked so hard for this. It's like, I'm a mom on Dance Moms, and it's finally recital time. This is amazing.
By the way, one of Danielle's problems is I think that she looks for gestures, or she perceives gestures and things that aren't happening. So it's like Lindsay's not being emotional enough, which shows that Lindsay doesn't care about this friendship. You know, she didn't get a call about this engagement, which just shows that she's not part of this group or whatever. Like she's sort of like, she does a lot of inferencing, whereas I think Lindsay's a very direct person. So they have like a fundamental flaw in how they even, I think, communicate with each other.
And I know that we're probably overanalyzing this, but this is what we do. I see Danielle's form of communication in friendships, the way that she tries to please other people, her love language, I guess, is going to battle against people that they don't like to prove that she's loyal to that person. I think with Lindsay, she did that. A good example was with Sierra, when she just started getting into it with Sierra for no reason, and it ended up in the glass throw and the wine toss and all that stuff that happened last time. That wasn't even about Danielle. It was Danielle trying to fight for Lindsay over all the Austin stuff.
Yeah.
Most of the fights that Danielle's gotten into have been not because Lindsay's asked her to. That's just Danielle's like love language. She goes in there and she starts fighting for you. And I think that that's why I've been pointing. It's not that the other girls are, it's like, oh,
that
girls,
she's expressing her love language to them.
Girls, you know. Yes, I think she's trying to be involved in the pack by saying, look what I do. This is how I show my friendship. And like, I go for people that maybe you don't necessarily like, because some of the stuff it's just so performative. All of this is so fucking performative from Danielle. She's yelling, she's screaming, she knows everybody's watching her. She's doing you don't care about me. I would take the clothes off of my back for you. And now I realize that I'm a fucking idiot. Well, all that's bullshit, because you couldn't even come to the engagement party without talking shit to her, to everybody that she knew and all of her best friends. So that you would do anything for her is obviously not true. Right.
Well, also, it's like what has been revealed is that it's all conditional. Or, you know, she's like, I would do X, Y, and Z for you, like X, Y, and Z, like Larsa Pippen. But, you know, then she's like, and now you do it for me, you know? And it's like, well, no, you chose to do that. Doesn't mean that that's how, like, why do I have to do it in that way? Like, yes, obviously, I still believe that Lindsay was being a shitty friend to Danielle over the course of the season. But in this case, you know, Danielle, like, it just goes to it's more like, Danielle, you shouldn't be taking up all these things and expecting anything back from Lindsay, because we all know who Lindsay is. We can all see it. And if you thought that you were anything more than a sidekick, and that like the master of the sidekick is going to go to battle for you the way a sidekick goes to the battle for their master, for lack of a better term. We never came out with who's the dominant, whatever, who's the main person, the sidekick, the boss. But like, That's just not how it
hero.
works. The hero. Heroes don't go to bat for their sidekicks the way that sidekicks go to bat for their heroes. That's just the way it is.
Batman is not going to HEB and getting you a cake. You know what I mean? Sorry, Robin. That's just not what Batman does. He's saving
Batman
people.
sends flowers to Robin's housewarming.
He has the butler do it. But
Robin
Batman is not going to
Batman's.
go. He's not going to go to your wedding in Pakistan. You know what I mean? He's busy.
And that's the truth of it. So like, yeah.
So she's losing it. She's still screaming. Lindsay's like, so if I'm so bad, why do you even want to talk to me? And she's like, well, now I can see clear as day. We are done. Final nail in the coffin. I love when people try to pretend they're breaking up with me when they're already blocked on all social. It's hilarious. So Maya is grabbing Amanda's arm like, wow, this is their Super Bowl. And I'm happy for them. Like, they're really enjoying it.
It's all of ours. Let's be honest. We're all watching being like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
So Danielle's like, we are done. And Lindsay's like, we've already been done, sweetheart. And then she goes, oh my God, sweetheart. Oh my God, really? Okay, why are you allowed to yell and scream at Lindsay in front of everybody for 20 minutes? But she makes one smart ass comment to you and you're this huge victim falling on the ground. I cannot believe Danielle hasn't fallen to the ground yet going, ow, my eye, she hit me.
Just give her 2 minutes. She'll be down on the floor. So, yeah, Danielle was like, you're a fucking monster that you won't even let me say that we're done first. I cannot believe that. You already said we're done. You already called dibs on being done. That is so rude. You're not going to ruin my fucking last weekend. So that's what we're not going to do. And Lindsay's like, well, you already did that for my husband. She's like, she's so good. She's so good at this.
It's like, your husband? What, are you already married now? Jesus fucking Christ. And Lindsay goes, well, you won't be invited. And she goes, yeah, well, he happily not invited then. And Lindsay just leaves. And she's like, my God, like, what a nut. And so then Danielle goes around the corner and all the girls run to her and embrace her. And they're like, we're here. We've got you, babe. And she's
It was like Red Rover send Danielle over.
So hurt. Like, falls to the ground sobbing. I was like, come on.
It was so over the top. Like, Danielle could not have. Danielle has been just it's just a failure. It's like you're like watching a really good football game or something, and the fourth quarter, one team just starts fumbling and intercepting, and that's Danielle just flopping in this final act of the season, just losing all her credibility that she had. It's just failing.
Ridiculous. So then Maya's like, well, that's your moment, but we were all here for you when you came out of your moment, because that's what friendship looks like, Danielle. That's what it looks like. So then Danielle and Carl, Danielle and Carl?
No, by the way, can we, while you figure that out, can we just talk about how funny it was that Lindsay said, well, that's what you did to my husband? Like, I love that she already accelerated them to husband and wife. That is so Lindsay.
Oh, this is Lindsay who's talking to Carl. So she goes out to Carl. He's like,
how did it go? Was it good? Do we need to leave? I will throw a t-shirt on a camera. Just tell me what to do.
And she's like, she took me and pretended that she was going to have a civil conversation with me. And I just kept it calm and collected. And she hated that I was like a chill. I was like, yes. She hated that you were chill and icy as fuck. Yes.
Really icy.
Nice work.
Nice work. I was scared. So Danielle's like, the fact that we've all come such a long fucking way, and that like after that conversation that the people that were here for me were like the people who were eavesdropping in, so they didn't have to gossip to each other. They just knew it all from the primary source. It just means so much to me right now.
And Sierra's like, yeah, we just all wanted to make sure she heard you because it's been like a long time. Oh, shut up, Avatar. Shut up. Yeah. So Danielle's like, I just get so much love from you guys. So then back to Lindsay and Carl. She's like, and she was like, you're a smug face. Like, you have such a fucking smug face. And I can tell you don't care. And I'm like, yeah, I stopped caring when someone's treated me the way you treated me this summer because she's the one who abandoned this friendship.
Yeah, because of like all of our own issues, right? Which are the following. And if you feel like filling in the blanks, Lindsay, I'll just follow your lead and say exactly. And that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like not fucking smart enough to like understand this right now. Gabs, we have a new position officially available for you if you want to come over and apply.
Oh, well, by the way, I'm glad that Gabby never arrives. Gabs just never comes. Lindsay just keeps trying to make this Gabs thing happen, and Gabby's like, no. I can't even believe I'm still talking to you. Give me another season. I'll hate you too.
So then Danielle is like, she's like still sobbing on the floor. She's like, let them have each other. I'm happy for them, but I'll always root for them. But I guess it'll be further off the sidelines. Danielle, just be bitter as fuck and say fuck them. Don't root for them from the sidelines, okay? You know what? Just like stop trying, because in a certain way she's still playing this role of like, oh, I will still like you even though you have been so mean to me. Just say fuck them. Say fuck them already, Danielle.
No, it's the victim thing. She has to win as the victim. That's her whole point today, is Lindsay is the mean one, and she broke Danielle to the point where she was sobbing on the floor. And the girls are kind of bored with her already, you know, because like they play, it's like their game climaxed, you know. So they're like, wow, that was fun. Okay, well, I'm going to go out by the pool and stay a clean flamingo, I guess. This was fun. And Amanda's like, okay, well, Danielle, you be sure to cash in all those hugs that you need.
And to be clear, there's only 3 available to you, so, just pace them out. And outside, Craig is like, wow, it was like such a war zone in there. Like, it was crazy, like swinging from chandeliers. Like, they had to put one, like, just in a blender to kill it. It's like, Craig, are you talking about gremlins or are you talking about the fight inside? I'm not sure.
Lindsay turned into a big ball and was like rolling after Danielle down a hill and almost smushed her up. It's like, it's not Indiana Jones, bro. Right. Still though, it was like a lot.
Oh my God, like Lindsay was like walking through the house and like just destroying everything. And I was like, I never knew Marshmallow could be so scary. You're talking about Ghostbusters again, Craig. Oh yeah, I guess I am.
He's such a drama queen. So he's like,
yeah, and she just stormed out, and now she's talking to Carl over there. And like, Lindsay's a good fighter when she's sober. She's really good. And Carl's like, yeah, she can be wrong, but then like seem right. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah. And so then Lindsay is like still talking. She was like,
as soon as she like started talking, I was like, here we go. This is happening. It's the same thing like over and over and over again. And I'm going to get yelled at again.
And then Kyle comes over and goes, hey, so Craig said it was like a war zone in there or something like that. He said something about like bombs going off. And she's like,
where? Oh, like Danielle? Like she just started screaming at me. So there's like that.
And it's like, oh, so it wasn't productive? I mean, unless she can figure it out. I mean, maybe you guys can talk or something. I don't know. I'm really drunk. I'm just gonna...
He just walks away. So Carl's like, where do we go from here? And she's like,
well, I mean, I guess we can sit in the deflated tiger that Kyle just left here. So we just sit there.
Well, Lindsay walks away because she's starting to talk about Danielle. Yeah, she starts about Danielle, and Kyle goes, well, here's the thing. And she's like,
okay, well, if you don't want to hear, like, my opinion, then fine. I can take my game show elsewhere.
Oh. So she walks off.
Thank you. My notes are confused.
And Carl's like, oh, she walks have a talk. Yeah.
So they have a seat in the tiger, the deflated tiger. So Danielle is to Maya and the friend who I thought was with Lindsay, but I guess wasn't. I guess this was Danielle's friend. So Danielle's like, did I do anything wrong in that conversation? And she's like,
no, I was listening, and you did not do one thing wrong.
And Maya's like, Danielle, I would tell you honestly, I believe that she was like far more antagonizing than you were. How? She didn't yell. Danielle was the one screaming and yelling and having a fucking fit. Lindsay stayed calm. I guess you can still be antagonizing and stay calm.
Well, I think it just all depends on what you view as antagonizing. Lindsay would use that definition, like Danielle was screaming, and then Danielle would say, but she was so cold and dismissive. So Carl's like, well, Kyle, I don't know where we go from here. Like there was a care and a love and a history of it all, and I think that Danielle she is just internally really struggling to deal with a lot of things right now, not being married and not having a Marshall's ad and things like that,
I mean, she's not really a Maxinista, you know what I mean? She's got nothing. Ross won't even call her back. So
Carl's like, well, do you think there's a world where they're not friends?
And he's like, totally. And it saddens me to see this come to that. I never thought this summer that would be the one friendship that would derail. By the way, your tiger is dead.
Yeah. I just thought, given that, really so many of Lindsay's friendships have derailed over the years, I thought, at least this one won't, but I guess this one did. So, anyway, the problem is not Lindsay or anything. It's just, Danielle.
So Kyle's mad because his Tiger has deflated because someone in his relationship didn't make sure batteries were stocked, which means he now has a free pass to cheat on Amanda.
Yeah.
If they watch Vanderpump Rules.
That's right.
So,
the batteries were not stocked. And neither was the toilet paper or the paper towels. So
okay, so then we go to Craig and Paige talking, and Craig's like, "What did Danielle say? What, did she shoot anybody? I mean, she had a machine gun. Oh my God!" When they poured the blood on her, and then she started like throwing the couch around with her eyes, and Paige is like, she's hysterically crying because she's mourning the loss of friendship, and Lindsay's out there like laughing and joking, and we cut to Lindsay like, "Gabs."
I really would have liked a conversation between Lindsay and Molly. I'm like,
Hi, I'm Lindsay. Hi, I'm Molly. Hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. You're like so jungly. You're jungly too. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So we see Corey and Sam being gross some more. I hate them. So then Danielle goes into the kitchen and sad music plays. And she's like, I'm having a whole ass moment. And she goes to cry in the bathroom into her mic. So we all hear it. So then Paige and Maya and Sierra are talking. And Sierra's like, well, I have to say, I'm really appalled with that conversation. And Paige is like, yeah, I think Danielle's coming to a realization about Lindsay that we all had years ago. And it's traumatizing. Do you remember how traumatized I was? Anybody?
When I realized she was addicted to prune juice, I was like, wow, that really does happen at old age. That was traumatizing.
So Maya is annoyed, so she goes to get some water. And
because she's watching Oliver. Oliver is like flirting at the party, and so while they're trying to like do a post-game report, Maya can't focus. She's just watching Oliver.
So she walks off to Oliver, and they're watching her. And they're like, is she okay? And Paige is like, well, I don't know if she wants to say it, but has she ever said I'm going to end it with him? And Sierra's like, yeah. So Kyle and Amanda are talking about how attracted they are to each other. And then Craig goes on and on about how much the grill sucks outside. I love that Craig makes himself the grill master, but has still to this day not learned how to grill shit. Nothing.
This was kind of a great scene because Craig is just like talking. He's making a really uninteresting observation about the grill while Carl and Lindsay are having a fight about pulling off bacon wrapped peppers or something from the grill. Because Craig comes over and goes, hey, so we were talking over there and you opened the grill and it was like all on fire and then you just like shut it. And I was like, everything in that grill's on fire. But then you opened it again and like you were like, no, it's not. Like that's a verbatim quote. And then while he's saying all this, Lindsay's like,
are you gonna take it off the grill? Carl, are you gonna take it off the grill? It's like, take it off first, baby. He's like,
I got it, babe. Like, stop. Like, I'm going to get it off. Like,
no, but it's like burning.
All right. Well, you want to cook them?
No.
All right. Then, like, I'm just saying, like, I'm like a people pleaser and I just want like the bacon to be like the best possible bacon for all the people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So then Kyle and Amanda are like kissing and talking about how they want babies in the house. They're like trying to end their storyline, but whatever their words are, it's basically like, hi, look at how nice we are together when we're wasted. Let's please always be wasted.
I'm always going to be wasted, man.
Yeah.
No other fucking way. I'll raise our babies wasted.
She's like, oh my God, I love us. So that's their storyline.
Then in the kitchen, Maya sort of like, Corey says something, and then Maya kind of like has a can of some sort of lover boy or whatever, and sort of tries to throw the drink out of the can at Corey. He's like, and so then he like throws a drink back. They're having like a little drink fight, and Paige is like,
Corey, we live here. This is a home for clean flamingos.
And then like they get into this like fight, but you can see that Maya's actually like a little. Like there's like a little more like animosity behind this like drink throwing a little bit, and so then Corey like throws an entire glass of water in her face and she falls over, but they're like laughing, but there's a weird energy about it too.
I don't write anything that Corey's doing down. I don't care. So then there's wackiness and it's like party. Everybody's like having fun, but then I see. Here's a Corey note. Corey Gabby chases Corey now and then throws pineapple juice all over the patio, or whoever's chasing.
It was Maya. It was a whole thing. But
I hate this part of the show.
I know, but you know what I really hated? So Chris starts picking up people and throwing them in the pool, but he's like doing it in that way that is like so aggro. I can't stand, because a lot of people are like, no, please don't, and they get thrown in the pool and they laugh. But I'm like it's the same thing with that machete with the tiger. It's like this guy who's now like hyped up because he's excited. Maybe he's on something, but at the very least, he's excited. And he like doesn't realize, he just never realizes how other people are reacting to him. And he just is like throwing people in the pool. And I'd be like, you know what? If you fucking did that to me, I'd be like, I probably wouldn't say anything. I'd be like, I'd just like complain about it afterwards.
You'd simmer.
I'd simmer.
You'd be on a list simmer.
He put me on. He would be on my simmer list.
So Maya finally takes Oliver. She's like, come to the bathroom and cover our mics. Okay, put your hand on your mic. And so she's like, you shouldn't be here right now or today. Like, you don't think that? And he's like, but my goal is to be here for you. She's like, but I know what you're doing, so just give it a fucking break. It's like, so she's like, and now you're fucking with me and you're talking to girls behind the bar. And he's like, I hear you, babe, I hear you. And she's like, just leave. And he goes, but I want to be here for you. Oh, so you cheated on her, so now you want to be here at a party to make sure she's okay after finding out that you cheated on her.
Exactly.
Fuck off. Get the
What a
fuck outta
fucker.
here.
What a fucker. Also, like, great job covering your mic, by the way, because all her audio was like this. Oliver, like, why would you do that? And his like, well, the reason why I did that was because I just felt bad. Like, I was like, what part of your mic were you covering? Was he just like have his head is just like on his forehead or something? But basically,
he wants
he's
people
like,
to hear his part because he's a victim in his part. Here's this crazy person crying at him when he's saying, I just want to be there for you. I just want to be there.
yeah,
That's
he's just
all I
saying this
want.
like
Just
bullshit
here for
stuff.
you.
And he keeps saying, bottom line is I just want to be there. And then he says at one point, like, he says this phrase, so I will leave you and I'm here for you. Okay. Well, you can't stop it.
Well, because she's saying leave. So that's their thing, basically.
He slinks
so she
out.
dumps him and he leaves. He slinks out, yeah. So then Craig, Corey, and Kyle,
I think that Oliver right now just dipped out.
it's like, oh, the parallels. I can't.
Dipped out.
There's too many today.
Dipping out. It's always about whenever that word comes up now, we know. So then Corey is like, oh, that makes sense because like Maya was being like so aggressive towards me and like maybe she's taking her anger out of me. So
of course, leave it to Corey to be that white guy calling Maya aggressive.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
a juice fight. Of course, it's very on brand for fucking Corey. So then we go to more throwing in the pool. It's everyone. Chris sucks. Matt kisses Gabby. Paige and Craig finally kick everybody out. Paige is like, bye, goodbye. Clean Flamingo says, Clean Flamingo out. Goodbye. Okay? This is not easy to upkeep. Go home, losers.
And then Kyle is like, wow, this summer was like one for the books. It was like very different. Like, I've known Lindsay and Carl and Danielle for like 10 years, so it really does bum me out that like we all can't find a way to be on like the same page right now. And basically it all just ends with them all jumping in the pool, and the question is like, can they repair these friendships?
Can they repair them? What will happen? I don't know. But next time on the reunion looks like a full-on assault against Lindsay Hubbard. So I'm curious to see how that all plays out. If my head's going to pop off.
It might.
But this was certainly fun.
This was fun. It was good. And I think we wound up on the same page after all, which is just that, well, Danielle, you were... It was a terrible confrontation that you had.
Fail. That was
You
a fail.
failed.
That was a big fail.
You failed.
But we still have a month Festivus of reunion, so come back next week. Also, this recap is available right now, available on Patreon as a video. It will be available next week for free on YouTube as a video. So if you want videos and bonus episodes, join at the Crappens On Demand level. Head to patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. Also, get your live show tickets because we're going to be coming out again in a couple of weeks. Watchwhatcrappens.com. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Dana C. Dana Do. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
There ain't no problem that Sarah Salvia can't solve ya. The Bay Area Betches betches.
And our super premium sponsors, the incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva. Erica, 500 Days of Summers.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
We want to hang with Liz Lang. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.